do you have a room where in your home you go to where you want to, write music, chill out, do your thing? Is there some sort of fun room that's uniquely yours?
No. That sort of sacred space is like the shower. That's where like some of my best songs come from.
So what happens if you're taking a shower and you hear, Happy's coming through your head and you're like, oh my God, I hear this great song. Do you run out of the shower and sing it into a tape recorder? How do you do it?
You memorize it.
You do?
Yeah.
And are you of the theory that if I don't memorize it, that means it probably wasn't that good?
Yes, and then no. There are some times where you forget something and you're like never going to remember that color again. Like there's a specific color that just fits so perfectly.
You think of music as colors, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like how you kind of see it.
Most musicians do.
Yeah.
So I'm not anything special, and most artists.
Do you fall in love with the people you write music with? Do you have to sort of vibe with that person, just love them so much when you work with them in the studio? It's got to be like a love fest, right?
No, there's an energy exchange. So, and let me see the best way I can describe it. It's like, don't you know, like when you're standing there and you haven't heard one thing, but you know when someone's standing somewhere in the room behind you, you can feel it.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you walk in a room, a complete stranger, you don't know them, they've not made a face, nothing in the body gesture. You just know when they don't like you. Or you know when this person likes you. Or you know this person's checking you out, but you never see them looking at you. That's a vibe. That's an energy. We can feel those things. Right? So when I walk in the studio with someone, they often walk in with the vibe. They have something on them, in the same way that they may have a smell from where they just came from. They also have a vibe about them. That vibe is readable. Then they also come in and they say what they're looking for. So, I want something that sounds like this, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 or not. Mm-hmm. And then third, they have a voice, and if a person has like a satin voice and used to singing to satin tracks, my job is to bring the juxtaposition. And if I can make polka dots work with plaid, then I've done my job.
So if I was working with you, I shouldn't be inhibited when I walk in and go, this is what I really have in my head, this is what I'm thinking. You wouldn't be offended by that if I came in with a really strong attitude and a really strong point of view. You would be okay with that.
I take the ego's hat off at the door.
That's good.
So to allow for you to be the champion in the room, and then I get the best performance out of you.
Because that is the weird part of your job, because you're always collaborating with different people. You got to sit there and work these people with their emotional problems and everything else. I mean, the whole package, Yes. And that's why bands break up all the time, because people fight, they have all kinds of battles. In a way, you get out before all that shit goes down, too.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Because if you get in the way, well, then now you're like sort of changing, you're changing the day. And sometimes you do have to come in and sort of corral things back into order because they can run rampant.
When you're working with Snoop, you got to get high, right? I mean, it's almost like mandatory.
Dude. I have to say, Drop It Like It's Hot, all those records, those were records that were born out of just like contact situations. But the other day, because we're working on his new record, Bush.
Right.
The other day, he was whatever the aroma was. I wanted to crawl under the desk and stay there for a while.
Do you ever say to him, listen, Snoop, I'm working with you here. I'm trying to keep my wits about me.
No, because that was his world.
He needs it.
And let me just tell you something. It is a masterful experience to work with Snoop.
So you put up with his idiosyncrasies.
His vibe is unbelievable. His zen is unbelievable. He's just wise in his perspective in the way that he sees things.
See what I mean? You got to kind of fall in love with the person you're working with.
You have to.
Yeah.
To some degree. But his energy is just unbelievable.